My next guest, in many ways, does have it made. She is very beautiful, successful, and is a popular member of the award-winning singing group TLC. Her name is Chilli, and she says she's always felt an emptiness in her heart because she's never known her dad. What most people don't know is that Chilli and my staff have spent the past 6 months in the most unbelievable wild goose chase in search of her father. Now, did it have a happy ending? Chilli, come on out and tell us what happened. Listen, we finally get to meet in person. All I've heard about for 6 months. This happened. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, my goodness. Oh, heavens. Oh, it's been wild. I want to tell a little bit about how we got together and helping to find your dad. 6 months ago, one of our associate producers, Juliet, was having insomnia. And she was watching a late-night interview on MTV with you where you talked about wanting to find your dad.
Right.
Well, we have very sneaky producers. Do you remember what you said about your dad?
Yes. Actually, we were doing an interview for MTV. It was past, present, and future. And they asked each one of us, you know, what would be your dream? And I said I wanted to find my dad. And,
that's right.
You know, and like later on after that, I mean, I didn't expect any calls or anything because I was, you know, currently looking for my daddy with Denise Howard. She works for us.
Right.
And boy, you talking about a goose chase for you. Oh my God, it was really hard, you know, because he was in the service. I didn't have a social security number. You know, all I had was a name and, you know, things that my mom could remember. And it was, well, it was awful because I got a phone call and Denise said, sit down. And I was like, oh God, either they found him or something crazy has happened. She said, they found him, but he's dead. And I was like, And I was in shock, you know, I couldn't cry at the time. And,
Oh, my goodness. Well, I know how you feel. I mean, just to a little extent, I went through that same thing. And I said, what do you mean? How can this possibly be?
I know, and I was like, well...
What do we have? We had the wrong middle name?
You know, is his mom still alive? Do I have any brothers, any sisters? So, you know, the person who was helping, Arlene,
yeah.
You know, she, the things weren't adding up, and they were talking to my mom, so... You know, I kind of like tried to block it out of my head. I was like, well, maybe it was never meant for me to find him, you know?
Can I go talk to Denise?
Yes.
Yeah. Just for a minute. Do you treat TLC like it's all one family? Is that what you do?
Yeah, we're all, everybody's pretty close.
She's the manager, by the way. She's Denise Howard. But she told you that this was a very important thing for her?
It actually came up in conversation that she was looking for her father. So I just told her that as a friend, I would try and help her.
I'm happy to say that after many ups and downs, we found Chilli's dad. And with your help, it's pretty great. Sit down. Chilli, you met him for the first time last week. What was it like?
Excuse me?
What was it like when you met him?
Oh, well,
this is only a week ago, guys.
Yeah, only a week ago. Well, actually, let me tell you, when Arlene called me, and I was on my way to church with my best friend, and she said, we got him. And I was like, you know, and the inside, I didn't know if I should get excited or, you know, if we're gonna call back and say, well, no, it's the wrong one again. And I said, okay, and she gave me his phone number, and she told me that, you know, he was married, and I had a sister and 2 brothers, and my sister sings as well. So I was like, wow. So, you know, right before I went to church, I called, but I hung up. I couldn't do it. I was so nervous. So I went to church, and I got back, and I was so excited, and I was telling Mom, I was like, Mom, they found him, they found him. And she was all excited and happy for me, and I was really hoping you know, that the whole family would embrace me and that they would be, you know, okay with me because, you know, he's gone on with his life. He has, you know, another family now, and I didn't want to cause any problems. And so when I talked to his wife, Connie. I call her Mama Connie now already. And she welcomed me. I mean, I felt like I was just on a, you know, like away on a trip, and I just came back home to see them. So
we have some home videos from that first meeting. We're going to take a look at it, and you tell us what's happening, okay? If you will roll that tape.
That's my daddy, y'all. Okay, he was cooking. I don't like yams, so he wants me to taste his yams. So, you know, I was going to taste them anyway for him, and what did I say? I said it was okay. So, and I mean, it was just the greatest time.
Who got him the daddy hat?
He already had the daddy hat. He told me he was going to have his daddy hat on.
So, Chilli, you got to meet your dad. You told us it gets better?
Yeah, it gets much better. Where's my sister? Uh-oh, we're flexing there. I see where I get my muscles from my daddy.
Oh, it's so cute. It really is. Did you... You have brother, what do you have, a sister?
I have a sister, and I have 2 brothers.
One of whom is with us today?
Yes.
And the sister? Okay, this is the brother Hassan and the sister Marnette, and they are here, so we'll bring them out. Hassan and Marnette, come on out. Marnette, what's this like to find out after 26 years you have a sister, not just a sister, a famous sister?
Well, first, when my mother called, she said that she had to talk to us. She wanted to have a meeting with us. So I'm like, I hate that when they do that over the phone. She's like, what you want to talk about? And so I'm like, what you want? She's like, I'll call you back, You have to come out to the house. So I ended up didn't go there because we had company and everything over. So she's like, your daddy told me that I could tell you over the phone. So I'm like, all right. So I'm sitting back, and nobody's at the house with me at this time. Nobody. So I'm sitting back, I'm like, all right. And then I was like, tell me. And I'm like, all right, wait a minute. Don't tell me, because I didn't know what she was going to tell me. So then she was like, well, there's a friend that's been looking for your father from back then when he was in the service. So I'm like, yeah. She said, well, they found him. I'm like, yeah. And she said, oh, God. And she's like, well, she said, Ashley Marnie, she said, it's nothing bad. She said, I'm glad. I'm like, would you hurry up? And she said, well, I wanted to tell you that you have a sister. And I'm like, she is crazy out of her mind. All right. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, well, who is that? I said, what she look like? She tell you what she look like and whatever. And she's like, no. She said, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, well, who is it? I said, I want to see her. I want to meet her. So when she told me who it was, at the front of the I'm like, hold up. I said, wait, don't take the phone. I said, Ma, you in life, stop playing. I just started going off, because never mind, I always wanted a sister. I always said, Ma, come on, I couldn't have a sister. I got these 2 rockhead brothers. And then I'm trying to make him up. I'm putting little bow ties and ponytails in the hair, little tennis balls. And she's like, you can just get over it. You can hang it up. So I was so happy just to find out really that I had a sister. Not that she was a celebrity, because she didn't even tell me that at first. I was happy just to know I had a sister, and I wanted to meet her and everything.
You two look alike. Hassan, what's it like for you?
Well, I was over a friend of mine's house, and I called her because I call her to check in sometimes. And she said, well, when you coming over? I got to tell you something. I said, what I do now? I was like, just tell me over the phone what I do. She's like, no, I'll wait, just stay over your friend's house, because I was watching a movie. So I said, we're going to have to cancel this movie. I did something. I got to go home and see what I did. So she sat me down, said, you know, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, will you come on and talk and tell me what I did? She's like, you didn't do anything. She said, you know, you have a sister. And when Dad was in the service, you know, from a while back, I said, well, you know, who is she? When are we going to meet her? You know, I was fine with it right away. Right away. And we all were, you know, we're a big family, big loving family. And if there's another member of our family, bring her on in.
Is it a good family? We need to know.
It's a great family.
Good family.
So what happened at the first meeting? What happened?
When she told me who she was, I said, you called me home for this? And I didn't believe it. Nah, I just didn't believe it until we talked to her.
Sally, my two cousins sitting over there.
Wave cousins.
They knew before I did. Well, Akalima, the
Right.
one. Yeah. She knew before I did. And when I was home, they was on their way over to my house. And when I opened the door, they wanted to tell me so bad, and their father told them, promise not to tell me. And so they come in, and I had already knew. And I was waiting for them to get there, so they walking through the door like, you know, like. And I was like, guess what? As soon as I said, guess what? They like, get out! She started running her mouth. She's going off. They could not wait on it. It was so nice. It's got spread so fast.
You know what the greatest part of it for me was that I was raised by my great-grandmother and my mom. And when my great-grandmother passed, you know, that was like my dad right there, you know? Sure. So it was like, oh, and, you know, growing up and everything, I always wanted to find my father. You know, it was just always something missing. And when you hear people say it's always something missing, if you don't know, it really is.
It is.
You know, you just wonder, well, what's going on? Why do I act like this, you know? And when I met all of them, it just all came together, and I feel so home.
We'll be right